Hi guys, this is a short video to help you log in your volunteer hours through Volunteer Connection. Some people have asked what the link is to get to Volunteer Connection, and if you don't have it bookmarked in your browser, the easiest thing to do is to just Google Red Cross Volunteer Connection, and that will bring the link for you to log in right up. And you just click it. There's another link to click to if you've been logged out of the system, and then you'll come to the login page. And I would definitely encourage you to save time to just bookmark the page in your browser so you don't have to do that every time. And then also another way to save time is to let the browser remember your security information so that you don't have to remember your sign in and password every time, like mine is here. And so I just need to click the sign in button. And that should take me to my home page. Sometimes it will take you to a page that you've recently visited, and you can just easily click the home button here to get back to the home page. And before we enter time, I just wanted to let people know that under my chapter for the Colorado and Wyoming volunteers, I've put in a bunch of resources here for you to look at. Some of them explain what the different types of hours are, why logging your volunteer hours matters to the organization, some time-saving tips, and this video actually. I'm also going to include a video for a smartphone application to use the app to log in your hours, which is a method that I prefer because it's a little easier. So to enter your hours, you just hit the Submit Your Hours button, and it will actually bring you to the page where you enter your hours. And in the date, you could just pick whichever date is applicable, enter the number of hours, let's say it's 1, select the number of minutes. I usually select 0 because you can actually enter fractions of hours in this in the hours. And then for activity name, I keep it pretty simple. I usually put something like work or email or meetings or travel, depending on what you're doing. There's no reason to make it overly complicated for yourself. So just put the basic description in. The hours type, worked is mostly what you should be using unless it's for on-call time. And if you are on call is the right option to select unless you're actually responding to calls or doing work while you're on call. Any of the work time should be logged separately from on-call time. And then there's another option for general availability, which we don't use that, so please don't use that. So I'll select worked. And then the position, you might have a couple of positions in depending on how much you volunteer for the organization. I just have 1, so I'm going to select that. And then comments, I usually don't add comments unless, for example, one of my time-saving tips is to enter multiple days worth into a single day's entry. So it might be like, let's say you volunteer 8 hours for the week, but you did 2 hours a day for 4 days. I would just put in I would enter in 8 hours here and then put in a comment that said, volunteer hours are for Monday through Thursday. And then just submit the hours and they're logged into the system. And that brings you to the view hours list or view hours calendar. And in the list, you can see here everything that, these are all my past entries for volunteer hours over the last several weeks. And you can see that some of them allow you to edit and delete them, and others just allow you to view them. And that's just, if the hours have been approved already, your volunteer services manager will approve hours. And once they've been approved, you can't really edit them anymore. But if you make a mistake right after you enter them in, it's pretty easy to just hit the edit button and go back and do that. Well, it's thinking a little bit too much. So there we go. The other thing you can do is go into the View Hours calendar, and that will show, I'm going to go back to March. And you can see here the difference in colors. There's yellow and green. The green means those hours have been approved, and the yellow means they haven't, so I can go ahead and edit these. But the calendar view is also helpful to just look over and make sure your hours are right. And you can also just click on a day in the calendar, and that will bring up the ability for you to log those hours again. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helps, and feel free to contact me at andy.karstens@redcross.org if you have any questions. Thank you.